Hi, I'm back again, and this time I'd like to have one of those uncomfortable conversations. This is one of those don't shoot the messenger. You see in the title, Are Mental Health Experts Failing America? What a question to ask. My assumption is that many mental health practitioners will be insulted by me asking the question. However, it is the dead elephant in the room. If you believe it's not, then how do you explain the high divorce rate? What about increased incarceration? Suicides are up for adults and children. Will you say the pandemic? Ha! Many women claim men are pigs and misogynistic. However, in 2019, the lesbian divorce rate was 72%. That was before the pandemic. Why isn't that on front page of the newspapers or television? If men are the problem in relationships, why aren't women able to get along with one another? Getting along with others is a major part of mental health. When we further explore mental health in the US, we have 7-year-old children that are making decisions about what gender they want to be. And we're taught to accept the 7-year-old's decision. At the same time, there is an alarming rate of people who change gender and later have regrets. We have fraud in financial markets. You think Bernie Madoff was a huge problem and we corrected it. However, Sam Bankman Fried was recently convicted for cryptocurrency fraud. If we go back to the 80s, we had guys like Ivan Boesky and Michael Milken who were convicted for misbehaving in the stock market. They paid fines and served time in prison. So this isn't new with fraud. Once again, fraud, this is mental health. Intentionally misleading people. It appears human trafficking is up. Women who choose the profession of sex worker is at an all-time high when you look at OnlyFans and strip clubs. Are mental health professionals going to say, this is normal? We should put our heads in the sand and accept society's current state. When you take a close look, or I'll say a close examination of mental health practitioners, they are very intelligent when it comes to discussing technical terms. They have a name for everything, and they now have a diagnosis for everything. When I was small, you said you had the blues if you were not feeling good one day. The next day, you were back in action and living your life. Today, you are depressed and helpless. I would assert that you are enabled to be helpless by therapists. When the therapist cannot help you, they send you to a psychiatrist who prescribes a pharmaceutical drug that will suppress your depression and help you cope with life. What concerns me most is the mental health field seems to create new categories for mental health problems. Is that what they do when they cannot help a person? They label them, stick them in a corner for incurable people that and provide them with a lifetime subscription to pharmaceutical drugs. With that said, it seems mental health experts do not focus on helping you discover your mental roadblocks. They help you feel helpless. They then give you fancy technical terms that require decades of therapy. In addition, instead of providing you with tools to be more powerful with your life, they focus on how you feel. Feelings have nothing to do with having a great life. I know that sounds crazy. The irony is, many of the mental health experts have the same unresolved challenges as their clients. If they could not help themselves, how will they help others? In fact, many mental health professionals take pharmaceutical drugs to cope with life themselves. That means the solution is no longer to get to the source of your mental impediments. It is to suppress them with drugs. So instead of finding solutions for themselves or their clients, they take drugs, suppression. Then we wonder why mass shootings are up. We also have an increased usage of heroin by educated people. How is this possible? What is our society running from? Narcotics are only a symptom. On one hand, we are running from something. On the other, we are pretending everything is fine. We dare not say mental health experts are failing. We are sticking our heads in the sand and pretending nothing is happening. And if you observe, we are doing these things over and over and again, expecting a different result. Meaning, we're sticking our heads in the sand, we're giving pharmaceuticals, people major in psychology and sociology, often to resolve their own issues, which they don't do. And everyone's doing this cycle over and over again, expecting a different outcome. There's a rumor that that is the definition of insanity. Imagine doing insane things and helping people mentally. How can mental health practitioners help the general population if they themselves are engaged in insane activities? It reminds me of Louis Pasteur. In the 1850s, over 40% of women died in hospitals after giving birth. Pasteur told the medical doctors they had to wash their hands. They laughed at him. Besides, he was a chemist, not a medical doctor. They ridiculed him so badly, he had to relocate his entire family. He moved. What's worse is the medical doctors were still learning about the human body. In other words, they would be in the hospital cutting open dead bodies and examining the parts. When someone would call them to deliver a baby, they would go straight from digging into a dead body to delivering a baby without washing their hands. And they thought Pasteur was crazy. Today, we can see how insane medical doctors were and why so many women died after childbirth, right? For us, it's common sense, hindsight. In the future, will they look at us and shake their heads at how ridiculous we were? Will they see our mental health experts as failures and possibly the reason for so many mental health challenges from the general population? At what point will we wash what we are doing and start from square one? We need mental health experts that are capable of providing tools for people to more effectively cope with life without the use of drugs, alcohol, or pharmaceuticals. I once met a woman from a Native American tribe in Canada. She said before Europeans arrived, her tribe had no word for blame. Blame, like blame it on him. If someone did something, you had no way to blame them. Instead, you would sit with an elder who would ask you what thoughts you had after the person did what they did. Then you had to be responsible for those thoughts. In reality, the other person did not force you to think the thoughts you thought. You did it. If you have the victim mindset, you will have victim thoughts. If you are responsible, you can inform the person that their behavior is unacceptable and not appreciated. Let them know what you prefer. Focusing on what you want in your relationship with others is much healthier than focusing on what you don't want or how badly you feel. Imagine if mankind took the word blame out of the dictionary, meaning you could no longer say it's your fault. I blame you. It's gone. Yeah, I know, I know. Many would initially be upset because they could no longer play victim. At the same time, It would force people to examine their own thoughts and be responsible for them. While I asked if mental health professionals have failed, it sounds like I'm blaming them. I am asking you to look at what is actually occurring in society. Then look at how we currently handle life collectively and individually. Is it working? Are we analogous to pastors saying, wash your hands? Do we need to wash away the mental health methods we use because it is not working? If our mental health experts are better at pontificating technical terms than they are at transforming mindset, why do we need them? Is it because something is better than nothing? Most people want solutions. Give me a solution. How do you solve this? How can we provide solutions if we don't know the source of the problem? Until we know the source, questions can be more valuable than the solution to a symptom. At what point will people realize it is time to trash our mental health programs and build one that supports the future of the nation? If you receive value from this conversation, like, share, and subscribe. Let others receive value as well. Until next time, thanks for listening. Take care and goodbye.